What's up, Colorado? From a dinosaur discovery in Thornton, to citizens tracking weather in Arvada, to cities like Longmont providing high-speed internet, low-tech finds and high-tech innovations. Check out what's new on this edition of Connected Colorado. Hi, I'm Wendy Brockman. We are here in Longmont, which has the fastest internet speed in the country. How did they do it? That's coming up in the show. But first up, what's old is new again. And what's new in Thornton is the excitement over a discovery 66 million years in the making. Here's a look at the Thornton Triceratops.
That's the skull. So that's the horn over the eye. That's a Triceratops eye right there. So that's the left eye. That's the big horn coming to a point right there. I'm trying to figure out this. I think this might be the lower jaw. Can't quite get the edge on it though. As soon as I got on site, I realized it was a pretty important dinosaur find, which are pretty unusual in the Denver area. And after cleaning up the site, it looks like part of the skull of a Triceratops, a horned dinosaur, and maybe parts of the skeleton. Dinosaurs from the Denver area have been known for about 150 years, but most of Denver is covered by parking lots or houses. And so it's pretty unusual to get down to the original rock layers that Denver sits on. And so whenever a construction site like this gets to the right level, so up here in Thornton, it got right down into the rocks that predate the extinction of dinosaurs. And so right before the dinosaurs go extinct, you have things like T-Rex and Triceratops walking around the landscape. And so this construction site just hit the right spot at the right time.
I'm really grateful to the city of Thornton and to Saunders for recognizing the importance of what they had and for asking DMNS to come in and help them recover it, because this scientifically is really important for the state.
Yeah, this is one of the showier pieces. You can see the horn, tip of the horn, other tip of the horn right there.
What's really unusual is getting some of these sites reported. So a lot of times these will be plowed up and they won't be recognized. And we're really lucky in this case that it was recognized as fossils. And we got the call and we're out here and we're able to salvage the site and actually collect these fossils. This is probably one of only 3 skulls of Triceratops found along the Front Range area.
This is really unique and is a really exciting scientific find for the state. And honestly, I think it's just really fun. I think this is the sort of stuff that helps bring Coloradans on the Front Range together and everybody can enjoy it. So thank you, Thornton and Saunders, for all your support of DMNS on this.
They're letting non-experts go over there and dig. So yeah, it's just a really cool experience for everybody involved, and everybody's really excited, and it's really palpable just what's going on right now. So it's a very cool thing for the city and our citizens, and I can't wait for them to be able to see more of it.
So this is one of the ribs right here, and they said very clearly, do not get close to that because it's very, very fragile. So I'm just trying to break some of this down and see if we can find anything else.
Once we recognized the fossil for what it was a Triceratops, and it was part of a skull and the skeleton. It took several weeks of excavation, and the site kept getting more and more complex through the 3 weeks that we were on the site. A lot of pressure, obviously, trying to make sure that we're out of the way so that we didn't hold up the construction project itself. The fossils were encased in plaster jackets, so it's a hard shell that we wrapped around the fossils. Brought them back to the museum, and now we're on that next step, which is the preparation. So we've removed parts of that plaster field jacket, and we're now doing the really slow, laborious cleaning of the fossils.
Every single day at the museum, visitors inquire, what's going on with the Thornton Triceratops, tell us about the discovery of the dinosaurs, so they're really intrigued and really interested. It's being worked on by volunteers in our fossil prep lab. So they're working to remove the sediment and stabilize the fossil, which will ultimately be accessioned as part of our collection, which will be used for research or be put on exhibit in the museum. It's really cool to be able to go out and dig at a quarry and follow the fossil from the site of discovery all the way through the end of the process, where it'll ultimately end up in the museum as part of our collection. So that's always exciting.
During the course of your career, there are landmark finds that you kind of measure your career by, and this is definitely going to be one of those landmarks that I'll remember for the rest of my career, and I think the city of Thornton will remember this forever. Well, I think we think of this as being done, and it's really just beginning. The research and the public outreach, I think that'll go on for many, many more years. And so I'm really lucky to be here for the beginning, and hopefully I'll be here through the whole process of the Thornton Triceratops.
Wow, who knew Thornton? Well, the fossils are currently being cleaned up, and you can see the Thornton Triceratops through the fossil lab window on the 3rd floor of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. From the past to the present and future, I'm here now with Tom Ronionis, General Manager of Longmont Power and Communications. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming to Longmont.
NextLight is your broadband service, but it's not just any broadband service. You have the fastest internet speeds in the country.
That's correct, yes.
In the country.
In the country.
Longmont.
Longmont, yes. According to PC Magazine.
What? That's unbelievable. Okay, what is broadband, like basic definition?
Well, most people, when they hear broadband, they see it as a high-speed internet connection or a fast internet connection.
Fast?
Yes.
How did Longmont get into broadband?
Well, it really started way back in the 1990s when the city had already installed a fiber optic loop to take care of high-speed communication needs of our electric utility. And way back then, I think the city council in general had the vision that we could use that loop to be the backbone for a robust fiber to the home network, and they really understood what the potential was for fiber optics. And so when they put that fiber optic loop in the ground, they made sure they had extra capacity to be able to do that. And we started out like most other communities. We really didn't want to do this ourselves. We reached out to incumbent providers and others and wanted to find out if they'd partner with the city to be able to bring that type of technology to Longmont, but we didn't find anybody that was interested in doing it, so we ended up doing it ourselves.
So what's the benefit though? If you have a community-owned broadband, how does that affect your city and your residents? What's the benefit?
Well, the fiber optic-based broadband network is capable of providing the fastest speeds right now as far as any other technology. And so we really see it as a way to future-proof Longmont and really differentiate Longmont from other cities and make us more competitive. Our business is more competitive, help advance education, just make it more fun for people to live, work, and game in Longmont. And like I said, we had that vision back in the 1990s, and today we're just wrapping up Colorado's first 100% fiber optic citywide broadband service.
Wow. And you're the only city in Colorado to have 1 gigabit internet.
That's correct. 1 gigabit per second internet, both download and upload speeds.
Which is great for maybe businesses, for example.
Particularly for businesses that
Okay.
need to upload very large files and do it very quickly.
So if they want to share files, it's like instant.
Correct, yeah, very fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you see this as where we're headed in the future, just fast fiber optics?
Yes, I mean, you realize that today we have a lot more demand on fast internet connections than we had back, 10 years ago. And who knows what the future is going to bring. Today with 4K high definition video streaming, there's more and more demand for higher and higher speeds. And right now, fiber optics, really has a theoretical limit. But to increase the speeds, all we simply have to do is upgrade electronics on each end, and we can provide hundreds of gigabits per second today.
20 years ago, we didn't demand it, but millennials demand it.
That's right. That's right. And if you live in a house, somebody might ask, well, why do I need that kind of speed? Well, if it's just you surfing the internet, maybe you don't, because that's a lot of speed, a gigabit per second. But if you're surfing the internet while somebody else in the house is watching a 4K high definition video, and maybe one of the kids is doing his first person shooter gaming, with somebody across the country, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You've got enough speed to be able to handle all those tasks simultaneously.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Now in Arvada, some citizens of all ages are getting into the high-tech business of weather tracking.
Oh, wow, look at that gustnado over there. That may be a tornado. We got to keep watching, see if we get a funnel coming down here.
Well, this thing has large hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds confirmed at Big Spring, just down the road.
If you are in the path of this storm, seek shelter in a small interior room away from windows.
We know how dangerous Mother Nature can be. In 2013, she hit Arvada hard. So the city wants more eyes in the sky.
A lot of times the storms form right over us. So you can kind of see right now some clouds they're gathering together.
Eric Jenkins and his family live in western Arvada with a front row seat of the foothills.
Alexa, what's the weather tomorrow?
Expect a high of 82 and a low of 57.
Emily is one of the city's newest storm spotters.
The rain goes up into this little hole.
Like many self-proclaimed weather geeks, she's obsessed with tornadoes.
I finally got fascinated with them and started wanting to see one and learn about one and be in an EF5 tornado, because I have always wanted to see one of those.
She knows some stuff that I don't, and I know some stuff that she doesn't, like wedge tornadoes.
I actually know those.
Normal tornadoes and rope tornadoes.
I know those.
She and her brother both know a lot more now after taking one of the free storm spotter classes offered by the city of Arvada and the National Weather Service.
I was kind of scared, but kind of excited at the same time.
They spent 2 days learning everything about floods, clouds, radar, hail, lightning, and tornadoes.
Looks like a spiraling up.
Wow. See the rapid rotation right here. Keep watching that right there.
So I'm involved with all things emergency management.
Inessa Janes works for the city.
This is a NOAA weather radio.
She purchased weather radios that can receive notifications from any county statewide 24 hours a day. She keeps one at City Hall and one at Westwoods Golf Course and says you should keep one at home to prepare for a disaster.
You can purchase one online or at Home Depot from $20 to $40. We get really busy with our everyday lives, and it's hard to prioritize something that is pretty unlikely.
That's why she started the Storm Spotter program. The first class had a waiting list, so she added another, and the Jenkins family signed up.
And they have pull-down menus here, dense fog, hail.
With their own spotter number, they now have access to a National Weather Service website to report any changes they see above.
Funnel clouds or wall clouds, development of tornadoes, hail that's larger than a ½ inch. It's going to help the accuracy of the National Weather Service because they have real eyes at the scene that are observing it. It gives people an opportunity to seek shelter and get to safe places.
His family is certainly better prepared to do just that.
Actually, the safest place during a thunderstorm is in your car. When you don't have a basement, you go either to a bathroom or a closet. I learned a lot from that class. So, yeah.
If you want to join Emily and the Storm Spotter team, watch for details on the next class coming up and head to arvada.org and search emergency preparedness for ways to keep your family safe.
I love that little girl. All right, in Aurora, there is a new parking program that is safe, affordable, and convenient for folks who are riding RTD's R-Line. So, how does Park Aurora work?
It's a thankless job.
Okay, so he got a ticket.
parking patrol.
It shows his license plate, make and model of his car.
But spend the day with 29-year-old Melissa Ortiz.
How's that?
And she'll prove you wrong.
If he does have it, you can ask him just to hang one up.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
She's part of Park Aurora.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Her day-to-day duties include keeping an eye on the city's newest parking structure.
So we are a 24/7 paid parking facility.
The Iliff Parking Garage is just steps away from RTD's R-Line.
This is the city's first municipally operated parking garage in the city of Aurora.
Hit okay.
Owned, operated, and overlooked.
We have about 30 to 35 cameras spread throughout the facility that we do monitor.
So if you're hopping on the train to head to DIA or downtown, this resident says it's a safe spot to stow your car.
And I have seen some officers doing their little round, so that is nice to know.
Enter license plate.
At the Iliff Garage, folks pay by plate. $3 a day.
There we go.
Or $50 a month.
So here's our receipt, but
And gone are the days of dashboard parking stubs.
we wouldn't check like a dashboard or anything like that.
That's because all you need to do is punch in your license plate using cash, coin, or card. And you can also pay on the go. All you need to do is download the Park mobile app. Just make sure to remember your license plate and your parking zone number, so you can add time to your meter wherever you are.
But these are our cameras, we have 2 of them.
Cutting-edge cameras that connect to this laptop for license plate recognition.
If we're, let's say, a couple car lengths away from a car and we're driving by, that allows us to scan that plate.
In a matter of seconds, this beep lets Melissa know whether someone has or hasn't paid for parking.
So hopefully that would educate him to not do this again.
But Melissa says her job isn't about being the bad guy.
Luckily today, his was just a warning, so it's only $0.
Instead, she and the rest of the Park Aurora crew hope to educate the public.
The parking pass is your license plate.
By having a paid parking facility, we're guaranteeing spaces for commuters to then get on the train.
But what does the garage mean for tax-paying residents?
We don't have people parking illegally, people parking in the neighborhoods, and everyone has access.
I think that's a good thing. So nobody just randomly come here and take our parking spaces, though we don't mind sharing a little bit.
Yep, a spot on their block to call their own.
Aurora is changing and getting bigger and better, and I think we're doing good.
For Aurora News Weekly, I'm Christina Savon.
To learn more about the Park Aurora program, go to the links tab at auroratv.org. And speaking of making driving easier, if you've ever had to stand in those lines at the Department of Motor Vehicles, you will appreciate what's going on at a rec center in Broomfield. And while you're there, you can return your Broomfield library books too.
Hey, this is the Colorado Motor Vehicle Express kiosk machine located here at the Paul Durda Recreation Center. This machine will allow you to renew your tabs and your plates, get your little stickers. It takes about 2 minutes. It's very fast. It's a very secure way to do it. But best of all, it's located here at the Paul Durda Recreation Center. You can do this on the weekends. You can do this after hours, before work, or on your way to work out, whenever it's convenient for you. For more information about the Colorado Motor Vehicle Express kiosk, visit our website at broomfield.org.
So our library is down at the south corner of Broomfield, and we've had requests over the years for ease of use for patrons to return materials. So we are working with the Paul Durda Rec Center, facilities, the woodworking shop to come up with a solution for that. And we have a brand new drop box for library books right here at the Paul Durda Rec Center. So you can come, work out, drop off your books, and then go about your day. We chose this location because of ease of parking, use, the fact that lots of our community comes here on a regular basis, and because it's a facility that's open many hours and people who are not members here can drop their Broomfield Public Library books off at any hours that they are open. You can drop your books off here, and twice a week we are going to have our facilities crew, who is moving around between our buildings, pick up the bins of books. And once they reach our library, we will backdate those books so that if you return them, say on a Thursday night after we've picked it up, then if we don't get them till Tuesday, once we do get them, we'll date them as if they were returned Thursday. So you will not get a late fee. If you return them to this bin at the time that they are due. And also, one of the great things with this endeavor is our volunteer woodshop folks made this really cool drop box for us. Facilities is picking it up. Our circulation crew at the library is going to take care of the returns as soon as they get in and get them processed. And of course, the rec center, which is hosting this. At the Brumfield Library, we're constantly looking for ways to be more user-friendly for our community. And this is just one of the ideas that we have to bring the library and ease of use to all the community. This allows them to come to one place and have many city resources available to them.
Sometimes some wonderful old things make some wonderful new things, like reusing an historic schoolhouse to make apartments. It's a wonderful way to preserve resources and history. It's the Fruitdale Loft Apartments in Wheat Ridge.
The city had owned this building for a while. They didn't really know what to do with it because it was becoming difficult to renovate on their own for almost any use. And so they did an RFP, and I saw that. We sent in a proposal and ultimately got selected. And the reason I sent the proposal in is that the original architect for this beautiful building is Temple Buell. And as a young architect, when I was 25 back in the mid-'80s, I met him. I asked him to show me around his office, and we talked about architecture. This is his oldest remaining school building, and it's always been really important to me to be able to help restore buildings of this caliber. And knowing that it's Temple Buell's oldest building still standing as a school, of course I had to be involved.
All right, well, let's go look at windows.
Today we were doing the review of the wood window mock-up. Then also today we were doing the review of the masonry restoration, the brick on the east side that's been so damaged. And those are both important because they're two key elements of the exterior of this really great historic building. And it's also the two main things that are going to be funded by the State Historical Fund. So we had the folks from the State Historical Fund here and all of our subcontractors, and everybody put their good ideas on the table and everybody's happy.
So yeah, let's talk about where we want to do those stops.
So the importance of maintaining the historical integrity is really from a few different perspectives. One is this building deserves it. It's also on the National Register, and part of the financing of the overall redevelopment is historic tax credits. And to get those historic tax credits, you have to maintain the historic integrity.
1, 2, 3.
This project benefited our economy and our environment in the city of Wheat Ridge, and this is going to be a great location for new families, new friends, and new beginnings for a lot of different people in our area and the Fruitdale area. So congratulations to everybody who was part of this project.
How they fit this all in here, I'll never know. I could not imagine how they were going to do this. I am amazed and thrilled. I didn't think I'd live long enough to see it saved.
Well, one of the reasons I like doing these kinds of projects is that it really touches people's hearts and souls. There's so many people that went to school here that wanted to see this building saved, and to be able to help the community of Wheat Ridge achieve that just means a lot to us. That's what we specialize in, is restoring old abandoned buildings and giving them new vibrant uses.
I think it's really important to preserve these old buildings that had such a place in the community. They represented the heart of an old community, and what really speaks to that now is all the people who come back who went to school here, or who were teachers here, or whose children went here. So we're preserving something in a community for this community going forward, and I think that's something that speaks to everybody. It's a sense of history of our past that's really important for all of us.
When there's a school of mines in town, there's probably always lots of innovation going on. Let's head to Golden to find out.
What does it take to be a leader? It takes education, ideas, collaboration. It takes the resources needed to go from concept to corporation. For many companies in the Golden area, it takes the Colorado School of Mines.
Yeah, so mine's tiny house is built on an 8 by 24 foot trailer, and it fits road restrictions, so it's no higher than 13 feet. So we're gonna see if we can keep this tiny house completely off the grid and kind of educate the tiny house community on how that could be possible for bigger and larger communities.
For Minds, it takes support from industry to turn dreams into reality.
One of the other really unique things about this project is that it's giving our students a chance to work with the industry and network with professionals.
Those are really applicable to our community because they can be built here, they can be used by typical homeowners and business owners.
We've linked our research and development directly with industry and focused it on the industry. So we're helping them solve their problems while simultaneously educating workforce and developing workforce for the future.
The ADAPT Center at Minds is one of many examples on campus of innovation realized.
This was a piece of plate, and then they started laying titanium wire into an electron beam and welding it continuously around to build up the part.
In this case, it's realized in 3D metals printing.
There's a local Golden company called Reaction Systems, and they make heat exchangers for the Air Force for high temperature supersonic engines.
The 3D printing really allows us to print metal in a geometry that we wouldn't otherwise be able to achieve.
In about 3 weeks, we got them apart, got them data on the part, and they took it to the Air Force and got their next round of funding.
And since we're a small company, we can't afford the large equipment, the analytical instruments, and having Minds so close and having the relationship that we do with the professors, it's easy to branch one piece of technology and one need that we have into another.
We're here tonight to celebrate the amazing achievements of the Thorson first year honor students in their...
We were on the topic of sustainable transportation, so increasing the bikeability and walkability of Golden.
They've been in a year-long class.
A class of freshmen. Certainly not a class for dummies.
We give them real-world design challenges that they have to solve.
So this is a magnetic strip reader system similar to that on a credit card.
In red, these are induction loops that are connected to the indicator lights.
So pushing ourselves to be more creative, we decided to make a golden gondola.
Some of the ideas work and some of them don't, but we really like to have that innovation and that idea base in our community to draw from.
The City of Golden has partnered with Minds for years on anything from freshman classes working on concepts to high-level senior designs.
I look at their sort of output tonight and I can't believe that they're freshmen.
These are freshmen.
These are freshmen. It's really astounding.
It's scary.
It's terrifying. I always say that I don't know if I myself would be admitted to my own program.
Every great thing starts as an idea, whether it's invention, research, implementation, or just being good stewards of the world around them. The City of Golden directly benefits from Minds and the companies who choose our city to be near the campus. Many companies are either owned or run by Minds grads.
The president of our company is also a Minds graduate. He received his PhD there.
And other local companies hire graduates. It's a winning combination for the school, industry, and the city.
We are the beneficiary of that knowledge base that is in our community that other communities don't have, and even other universities can't provide. School of Minds is that step above.
No doubt some great innovations and new things happening in our state. We'll see you next time on Connected Colorado. From high-tech innovations to low-tech new discoveries, the fastest internet speed in the country, and a 66-million-year-old dinosaur find, to name a few. These and much more on this edition of Connected Colorado. Join me Thursdays at 8.